Hey everyone, it's Wanda Vitale, and here's the thing. You know you're the creator. You know you're the creator of your life. And in some areas, you experience quantum leaps, and in others, you're looping. Why are you still stuck? And that's what we're talking about today. How to move out of this loop of where is it, when is it, why do I feel so stuck, and back into your power. So step one, identify the identity that you're operating from. So many people are saying, I want $1 million because I don't have it, because I need to feel important, because then I'll be worthy. They're operating from who they're not. The subconscious really says, okay, this is who you're not. I'll create more of that. So identify who you are being, who you're creating from. Who is this version of you who reacts, who says when your bank account dips too low? Who's that version of you that says, oh my God, it's not working. Why isn't it working? What story about life, your worth or power do you still believe? When things go wrong, what's your inner speech? Does it sound like nothing I do ever works out? Do you go into maybe this isn't possible? I just heard that from a client. Well, maybe this thing that I want to do just isn't meant for me. What is this version of you? If she or he were an actor in a play, what does he or she believe? It's this version, this self is the self that created what you're experiencing right now. And that part of you is ready to evolve, or you would not be having this dream or desire to want more, a loving relationship, or to write that book, or whatever it is. Does this identity match the version of you who's already living your vision? What's the gap? Identify the gap. We don't create by doing more. We create by being different, because action alone doesn't create reality, but your identity does. It's automatic. Number 2, feel your way into this new self. The future you doesn't come from doing more, right? That's what most people do. Our first question is usually, what do I have to do to make this happen? And then we're like hamsters on a wheel. We're strategy junkies. We're work junkies. Oh, I'll do this. I'll do that. Oh, what about this? But we never get anywhere. The key is that we feel our way into this new self. It comes from being someone new, energetically, emotionally, somatically. Feel the version of you who already has it. How does she breathe? What does her nervous system trust? Then begin showing up from that energy. For those of you who are wanting more abundance and you're still operating from an old identity that doesn't trust money, that is really set on scarcity, that doesn't trust life, we have to change this container that we are being, and that is in your nervous system. It's a somatic issue. Our nervous systems only allow in what we believe is safe. And how do you make it safe? With practice. For my clients that want more money, I ask them to imagine a couple of things. Every day they have $10,000, or if $10,000 isn't a big number for you, $15,000. $15,000 every day, and you have to spend it on yourself. Not on your kids, not on your grandkids, not on your spouse or partner. $15,000 a day that you need to spend on yourself until perhaps you hit a level of discomfort. It may be that you have a belief that if your business thrives, that your partner will leave because you'll make more money than he or she will. That's come up before with clients. So we have all these beliefs that our nervous system believes are true. And they're not based on anything rational. They're just based on what we've experienced. And the nervous system says, okay, anything beyond that, I'll react. And it can look like procrastination. It can look like, oh, I don't want to do this. Or it can look like I'm powerless. I don't know what to do. This nervous system work is so important. Again, feel the version of you who already has it. How does she breathe? How does she breathe? Knowing that what she or he wants is a done deal. Are you calmer? Are you operating from fight, flight, and freeze? Where is it? How is it? What do I have to do? That's fight, flight, and freeze. That's where most people are operating from. Or does that version of you say, this was just so much fun and it was so easy and I'm so relaxed and I'm so grateful? So start to embody that version of you and then begin showing up every day from that energy. Every day, be intentional. Who am I being this morning? Who am I being today? And when the old you comes up, remind yourself, oh, that used to be me. That's not me. In neuroscience, that's a pattern disruptor. It literally tells your nervous system neuroscience tells us that when we use a pattern disruptor, like, oh, well, that's not me. That used to be me, but no, that's not me anymore. Everything I desire is already mine. It's right here, right now. It's just in another parallel reality that my physical eyes can't see yet, right? When we use a pattern disruptor, neuroscience tells us that it literally tells your brain to make a switch, that you're changing. Consistency is the key to change. This is not a one and done thing. So every day you're going to show up as the new you, even though your senses deny it. Number 3, use your higher senses to navigate, not just your mind. Most people are operating from our physical senses, from the mind, but some say that we have available to us over 200 higher senses, and they're not logical. It's feeling, it's a depth of perception, it's a sensuality, it's resonance. Creation happens through resonance, not logic. What are your higher senses? Some of them, intuition. Intuition. What feels true before logic kicks in? What about those little nudges that say, go here or do this? If you listen to Bashar talks about following your highest excitement, which doesn't always feel like excitement. It may feel like you have 2 choices. Go record a video or go take a walk. And go take a walk has a little more energy. But while you take a walk, the title for your book comes in, or an idea lands, or you decide to call a friend, then something opens, something expands. Another one of your higher senses, imagination. People use imagination of the mind when they're imagining the worst, the what ifs. What if this happens? Fear-based imagination. But that's not what I'm talking about. The higher levels of imagination are actually how your soul talks to you, and it's energy. It's all energy. What lights you up? What really lights you up to think about? What would I love? That's such a good question. If everything were possible, what would I love? If I could be, do, or have anything, what would it be? See, a lot of people think they want the $1,000,000 because they think that will make them happy. And I can tell you from experience, it doesn't make us happy, but we think it does. We think having a six-figure business or a seven-figure business is the thing that we want because we've believed that's the only way I can create the income that I want. That's what I'm supposed to do. But it could be, but really, what do you, what it really lights you up to think about? A lot of people are trying to create things that really aren't in alignment with their soul. Maybe you're here to write a book. Maybe you're not here to have a complicated business. You can. There's nothing wrong with it. My point is, what really lights you up to think about it? What's your why? Use your higher imagination. That's spirit talking to you. Another of your higher senses is inner seeing. What do you see when you drop into silence? What do you see? Now, some of you might not see anything, and some of you may get pictures. Some of you may get a vision when you quiet your mind. We're all different. I get my hits through ideas that just drop in out of the blue, and I think that was just brilliant. But I know it doesn't come from my mind. It comes from the rest of me. So drop into silence. If you have a mind that chatters in negativity a lot, drop into silence and ask the rest of you. Show me if you see pictures. Another one is resonance. Does this choice expand me or constrict me? Start choosing based on what you feel deeply, not what you should do. Like, oh, I should do this if I want to grow my business. No, it doesn't work that way. Everything drops in perfectly at the perfect time, and it's unique to you. Most of us have been strategy junkies. I certainly used to be, but you've got to learn to trust yourself. And this is the process. If you're in a loop, things keep coming up so that you can make new choices. Drop the shoulds. Tap into what really feels good to you. Tap into what you really love. Take one identity aligned action every day. Tap into your new vision, who you're being, your new identity. Act as if, feel as if, and ask, what's one thing I can do today that moves the dial? A lot of people miss this action piece because they overthink it. They're in their heads. They're thinking about all the things that we just talked about. They're not being that new version of themselves. They're thinking, well, this is how somebody else did it, so this is what I need to do. I will tell you from experience that it's really a matter of becoming delusional, of saying to yourself when the old self comes up, who might be reluctant to take action, who believes, well, I'm not enough, and all the welcome to being human beliefs that we all have that I keep referring to. I'm powerless. I'm not safe. I don't know what to do. When that comes up, realize it's just your nervous system trying to hold you back. And so we have to be delusional to that old self and say, oh, I know what's happening. This is who I am. And I'm just so grateful that everything that I've dreamed of is dropping into my lap because in some other parallel reality, it already did. And from that place, you're going to follow the energy. You're going to say, what's one thing I can do today to move the dial? What would I love to do? And you're going to do that. And it might not be what your favorite coach or business coach said you should do. Because what works for other people may not be the next perfect step in your own path. I can assure you that life can be so easy when we get out of our heads, when we move in to this new identity that is already living the life that we would love, whatever that is for you. And when the old version of us comes up, again, we use the tools. No, that's not me. That used to be me, but this is who I am now. The ideas come in at the perfect time. What is one thing? It could be a tiny thing. It could be you've decided that you're going to write a book. So what will happen? Your higher mind will say, here's an idea. Or it could be that someone is doing a presentation or a master class on, here's the easy way to write your book with ChatGPT. It's just miraculous to me how this stuff works. One step, one idea at a time. It's just perfect. But we have to take action. So ask, what would the version of me who already lives this, who already has this, what would this version of me do next? Don't overthink it. Follow your intuition and just do it. What feels inspiring? What feels fun? What feels curious? And then do it. And we do it every day. It doesn't matter how small. It doesn't matter. It could be a conversation. It could be something you share in social media. It could be putting a boundary down in your life. It could be a commitment. We really need to take action because this grounds frequency into form. And until we take action, not talk ourselves out of it for some reason, nothing happens. So that's another reason that we get into these loops. And then the last step, which is so important, activate your reticular activating system, or your RAS. Train your brain to find evidence. Your subconscious is always listening, and it obeys whatever you focus on. So start telling it what to look for. When you say, I'm aligning with a new identity, your reticular activating system goes to work. Look for the tiniest shifts in mood, in opportunities, in new insights, in external reflections. It could be a compliment or a synchronicity. Most people miss synchronicities. And then you celebrate them. If you're wanting to create more abundance, decide to look for more abundance. Money and other forms of abundance. It doesn't matter how small it is. At first, you will see, most likely, tiny evidence, but then it just keeps coming. So every day as you operate from that new identity, tell your reticular activating system what to look for. People who have scarcity mindsets could step over a hole with a bag of money in it and never even notice it, or never notice the opportunities because their reticular activating system is still based on the old identity, which may be something like, I don't have enough money. What am I going to do if I don't have enough money, or if I don't get that job, or the one who's unlovable? So we have to look for proof that's already there, because it is. Otherwise, we won't notice it. As you continue to look for more proof, your brain, your reticular activating system, will keep bringing you more proof. And then the sixth piece in this is regulate to receive. And I touched on this a little bit. You don't calm your nervous system to feel better. You calm it to create capacity for this new frequency of you to land. We cannot create when we're contracted. And it's really pretty easy. You just start to notice, do I feel contracted or expanded? Notice, how do you feel when you're chattering away in your head? Are you being your old identity who's focused on fear, lack, limitation, ill health, all that survival stuff? How does that feel? It feels contracted. It's survival. So no matter what you do, it's not going to work as long as you're in that contracted state. So how do we calm our nervous system? Really easy. Use your tools. Breathing. 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Literally switches you from reactive behavior to rest, regenerate, and create. Could be tapping. Use your tools. It's safe to be me. It's safe to be this wise, wealthy, happy person, overflowing with all the goodness in life. Havening. I love havening. It's so easy. Havening, I personally like better than tapping. I'm safe. I'm safe to be me. It's safe to be abundant. It's safe to be vulnerable and loved. I'm so lovable. You can find videos online for EFT and havening. Safety opens the field. Your future self can only land in a body that feels safe to hold it. Otherwise, your nervous system will say, no way. Stop arguing for the old you. How many times do we do that? Your yes buts. Every time you say, I don't know how, I'm not ready, this always happens to me. What if this isn't meant to be? Every time you say that, you're reinforcing a self that you're no longer meant to be. Shift it. Say, when that comes up, thank you. Tell your thoughts, thank you. But I'm creating from a different identity now. I don't need evidence to believe. I believe and then I see. Because you know that. Everything already exists, but we only see that which we believe, and we can believe in anything. You can say instead, this is the frequency I'm choosing to live from. Right now, when there's so much economic uncertainty in the world, it's triggering our nervous systems, but we don't have to agree with it. We can feel it and say, yes, this is uncertainty. Yep, this is rattling me, but I know this isn't true. I am living from the frequency of abundance. I am abundant. And then feel that in your body. I'm always supported. This is the work, friends. It's really, if you're stuck, you're living from an old identity, and it just takes consistency. We're like actors in a play, and we all decided to experience limitation of some form, but we're not stuck in it. This is the work. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate each and every one of you showing up and being willing to move beyond the idea that we're some blob of flesh and that we have limitations. We don't. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do. I so appreciate that. And again, my name is Wanda Vitale, and I'm the founder of the Empowered Empaths, because emotional mastery is really the key to the kingdom. Because when we no longer react, everything just becomes a choice, and we focus all of our energy on what we're creating. We focus all of our energy on this new identity who is here to not only architect a new life, but architect a new reality for everyone.